and welcome to this week's edition of Radio Pitch and Putt. This is your host, Frank Janine, and I would be delighted to welcome by the Premier is the right word, but we are joined by the Ladies National Stroke Play Champion and member of the Tipperary Intercounty winning team, the pride of Tipperary and the O'Brien household. Marta O'Brien, you're very welcome.
Hi Frank, how are you? Thanks very much for having me on this glorious evening.
Yes.
So it's great to be here, so thanks a million.
It's great, and I hope you and your family are all keeping well and safe in these difficult times. On the video in the background, I had to do a bit of digging, but I found a video of the 9-hole playoff from St. Bridget's from last year. So that's playing while we're talking. So we'll be keeping an eye on what you're doing on the 9-hole playoff at the same time. So, but it's a privilege to have you here, Marta. Tell me about how you got introduced to the game. I know your family is a huge part of the pitch and putt folklore, but when did you start playing?
So myself, I started playing, I suppose, when I was 12, and I suppose kind of where I got the bite for was from going around to different competitions that Paul was playing in. And from there on, then I started to play, and my mother used to take me out, and I used to play an awful lot, I suppose, with her and on my own. And at the beginning, I suppose I didn't really have much patience. I couldn't understand why I wasn't getting 2s and 3s the minute I went out. So I suppose from practice and more practice, my 6, 7 and 8 eventually became 3, 4s and 5s, and then they started to go down. And then I suppose from then on, then when I kind of gained that little bit more confidence, then I started to enter competition then at juvenile, and then gradually then from then when I became kind of at the senior level, then entering as many competitions then as I could, I suppose. But it was kind of down to more support than anything, because there was days where I come home and I'm giving this up. Again, it was just, I suppose I was young and just been really impatient, I suppose. But thankfully I was told to keep at it, and lucky things kind of went from there.
There's a lot of beginners starting the game at the moment, and hopefully one or two might listen to what we're saying as we get through this. But it's important to remember that everybody starts somewhere. Everybody starts bad. Everybody starts with the rookie name on there. And as you can see, my own daughter is beginning to play, and if she's hitting the ball up along the fairway, I'm trying to be encouraging her. And I'm sure it was the same for you.
100%. Like, and it's all, to be honest, for me, it was all really down to encouragement and support, and that obviously, every shot's not going to be perfect, when you're starting off, and that's totally fine. And I just find it's just to keep practicing and just to keep going, and that eventually, like your 5 or whatever will become a 4. You know what I mean? And whatever works for you, and I just really do think that it is down to sheer encouragement and learning, I suppose, at the beginning, just the basics, and trying to get into good habits. I suppose I remember when I started that I just had silly habits, really, and to just, I had a habit of maybe holding it as a hurley grip, and I was trying to go back to a normal grip and things like that. And then I suppose when those habits kind of got knocked out of me, then I was on the right path, I suppose. So really, kind of any beginner that's even starting, it really is just trying to get the few basics right at the beginning, and just really to never give up and just keep going, because it will improve, and especially I suppose with this weather, it's a great incentive at the moment to go out to play, and with everything that was going on, and it's just great to get out and to play, and it's just great to be able to do it, really.
It's absolutely fantastic at the moment, and again it comes down to encouragement. Was there anybody that you recalled, or was as a serious person that you looked up to, or mentor that was there for you?
To be honest, I probably would say it probably was my brother Paul, really. It really was, I'd say, my family, especially Mum and Dad, and definitely Paul. You know, Paul went out with me and encouraged me so much, and would give me loads of different tips on just kind of, even when I was pitching, if I was if I was standing wrong, there's the things maybe you, as a player, you wouldn't notice and somebody else would notice. Little things like that, or just being honest as well, when if you're pushing or tripping, just how to kind of be clever about it and not to be going bald-headed and things like that. But definitely, like he was, especially I suppose, with Paul, definitely very influential for me on my game anyways, definitely. And I suppose Mam the same, just full of support, really now, you know, and very good and had lots of patience with me. So yeah, no, definitely, I would say those two in particular, definitely. Really gave me the...
Did you go to any of the major championships? Did you see anything that was any games that inspired you, or any matches that you saw?
Yeah, I suppose especially the national match day. I find the match day is a fantastic competition to see, you know, so many games and matches, and I kind of find it's really interesting, especially in match day, to watch it, because you get such a good idea of the game and how to be clever and, you know, cute about it. I remember even say the All-Ireland match day 2017 when I was in Tiptown. I was fortunate myself to make it to semi-finals, but I remember for the final with Christy and Ger, like, again, I learned so much from even watching that final, you know, like just the way of play and things like that. I found really good for me. That I remember even saying to myself that's the thing now, Marta, you have to work on. And just, you know, it's great watching loads of different games like that, because you can see kind of flaws in your own game that you feel you have to improve on as well. But definitely on those side of things, 100%.
Excellent. It's great, and it's great that you're in a position to encourage the youth that's around you. So as you progressed, you obviously were playing all the time. Did you ever have a sabbatical or anything?
No, I said no, not really. The only time I suppose I went on a J1 for a summer when I was in college, and I suppose I was gone for 3 months. So that really was the only time. And like, I remember when I came home from that, I was actually going into the Intercounty in Clonmel. When I came home, and I little or no practice, and but that was really it. I suppose, I've been playing constantly since I was a juvenile, and since I turned then into the adult grade when I was 16. You know, but you know, it's great though. Like, I love it, like, and it's great to be able to go to different competitions each weekend and get to meet people, and you know, it's with pitch and putt, you know, it is. We are. You could say a tight community, and it's just great going to see everybody. And I've developed so many friendships, I suppose, over the years as well. And I still have those friendships now to this day. So, you know, in that regard, it is great to have it, and it's just great to be able to go and play in everything that I have played in, really.
You were telling me when we spoke briefly that you played Intercounty Juvenile for Tipperary.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I played 2 years actually for Juvenile Intercounty. Myself actually, and Michelle McCarthy from Hillview. And you know what? It was actually great. It was great for us, I suppose, as girls, really, because it was the first time that there was girls on a boys intercounty team. And even when we played in both the Munster Intercounty and the National Intercounty, there was we were the only ones to represent our county across the board. There was no other girls from any other county that were playing. And to be honest, for us, it was actually a great achievement because, you know, I suppose, and even when we were playing with the boys, like Stephen Shore and say Shane Hoare of Exeter Park, and Sean Ryan and Christopher Hickley, all from Larkspur as well. And I remember at the time, you know, I remember even saying to Michelle, "Oh my God, these boys won't want to play with us," like, you know, because we were girls, you know. And I remember we played in Conagar in the Munster Intercounty, and I played with Stephen Shore. I remember I was terrified, like, because I was going, oh my God, he's going to think now, what's this one at, like, you know. But no, I must say, it was absolutely brilliant. Like, we were treated no different, you know. And I remember we played the national intercounty in Sea Point, and I remember even the joke, Sea Point's a tough course, and you know, you'd be nervous enough going up because you'd say to yourself, God, don't make a holy show of yourself now in front of all the boys, like, you know.
No danger.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it really was. It was a fantastic experience, and I'd highly recommend it. Like, you know, for any girl that would be playing and that would, like, you know, that would think, God, I wouldn't be good enough. No, everyone's good enough. You know, you put your mind to it, and it really was. I'd love to go back and play it again now, to be honest. Because it was brilliant, and I remember even when we were playing above in Sea Point, I suppose we went up for the weekend, like, and there was I remember we went into Strata, and there was like kind of an arcade centre, and we went in with the Kerry team. Damien Fleming actually was camp juvenile after that time with Kerry, and we met up with the Kerry team, and we all went in together, and you know, it was nice. It was that kind of element of it. It was great, like, you know, that you kind of could have the crack and stuff, I suppose, off the pitch and book course as well, like. But oh no, definitely, I'd highly recommend it, because I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like,
no, and it's great for inclusivity, and we have a sport that is capable of being played at any level by anybody. They say it's a game for all the family, and it certainly is that. I'm going to move you on to last year. Now, on the video in front of us, like I said, we're watching Bridget's. That was a great day for you, but you were behind. You were in trouble.
Yeah, I was. There's no two ways about it. I was. Yeah, I was at the final 18. It was myself, Sarah Dillon and Chrissy Byrne, and I've never been on the sixth hole, and I got a bad 4, and yeah, I was 7 shots behind Chrissy. Chrissy was 10 under, and I just said to myself, going on to the 7th, I was like, Marta, you're better than this. But then I was kind of like, look, you're 7 shots behind, so just play your game the way you're able to play your game, and just, you know, I didn't think in my wildest dreams I'd win it or anything like that. So my intentions going off that day were to make the final 18, and in a way, like, I would have been happy with that. So then I suppose from there on, after I said that to myself, I started to play really well. I got 5 2s in a row, and to be honest, I kind of frightened myself. And it was really only on the 15th hole. It was my first time looking at the board. I never looked at the board. And I just, when I looked, I was like, you're 2 shots behind. And then I realised, and yeah, I was lucky. I got a 2 and 15, and even on the 16th, I remember I'd have put the length of the green, and it was covered in the shade. And I was like, oh, just play it up for your par. Don't make any stupid mistake. Just play it up for your par, and look, if it drops, it drops. Make sure and get your 3. And yeah, it actually drops. And then all of a sudden, it was all square. And so then, yeah, I went to the 9-hole playoff, and you know what? It really was something fantastic to be a part of. Like, it was just, I just felt it was great pitch and putt. For me, I just felt personally for myself, I played really well within myself, and I was really pleased with that. You know, being honest, if I were to lose a course, yes, I would have been very disappointed, but I would have been so proud of myself the way I played.
Yes.
And it really was a ding-dong battle, really. 2 of us got 2 2s in the first, the same on the second. You know, it was a real match day, you could say. And then I remember even in the 9-hole playoff, there were times where I match play in my head that you're nearly tempted to go over and pick up the ball. You know, that kind of way. Because I was playing that match play. But yeah, no, it was absolutely fantastic. Look, I was absolutely thrilled. I really, really was. And I suppose the fact it was my first All Ireland to win at senior level, you know, it really was a fantastic win for me. And I suppose as well as that, it was great to celebrate, I suppose, with Bridget Shetty, because she won for my own club, because she won the intermediate as well. And it was great to have the other girls from Lakeside there, and to have Mum and Dad there as well, and especially for them, because I was so happy for them as well, because, you know, they spent so long coming around and supporting both myself and Paul, and I was just so happy for them. As much as I was happy myself, I was really more happier. I was actually really happier for them. And, you know, it was, in fairness, you know, and as well as that, like, it was just so great that it was streamed, you know, and, like, it was great that it was shown. And I must say that the pitch and the union, they did a great job on it, like, on what they did. You know, it was great. It was done live. It was done really, really well on the ladies' juvenile Facebook page, and it was great to see that promotion for the ladies also. And you know, there was bits of it shown from. It wasn't just the senior level. Like, you know, you had the intern, you had the junior. It was everyone was involved with it. So, you know, credit where credit is due, because it was great. But yeah, no, it really was. It was great for something to be part of, and I was very proud that day, to be honest. So.
And it's great that it's available as a video as well. I mean, literally, you're playing the 7th hole here on the screen in front of us, and you know, even the fact that it's available is of huge benefit. It'll be a benefit for you in years to come. Yeah, trust me. You know, and it's really fantastic, and the production is excellent of it, and the quality is very good. And we can only hold our hands up and say that a marvelous job was done in that. And to chip in on the tie hole, on the sudden death tie hole, was special for you as well. That's a great way to finish a tournament.
Yeah, it is. It's a great way for me to finish, and it's a sickener, I suppose, for your opponent. You know, that kind of way. But in a way, you know. But like, in fairness, you know, I can remember even I went up to St. Bridget's that week, and I was up practicing, and like I hit the ball right to left, and every time I hit that 10th, it always trickled down to the left, no matter what I did. And in fairness, that's a tricky hole anyways, and it's hard to hold on that green. And that week I was up, I actually just dropped balls down the left-hand side, and I was just chipping them up, imagining, I had no idea where the pin would be, but I was just imagining, I kind of thought maybe it might just be up a bit anyways.
Yeah.
So I was practicing chipping up. I had about 4 or 5 balls, and I'd chip them up, I'd bring them back and chip them up again. To be honest, it was just really just a just-in-case shot, really, if I happened to be down there, you know. But, no, it really was. It was a fantastic win, and, like, fair enough, but, like, either of us deserved to win it, you know, that kind of way. We both played so well, like Chrissy, and in fairness, that was my first time. That's actually my second ever time since I've come out with senior, even playing with Christy Byrne. And it happened to be 2 years in a row. You know, I played with her last year in the National Stroke Play, and you know, she's a lady to play with. You know, and like, we had a good time playing with each other and against each other, I suppose. But you know, there was great sportsmanship showed every time. You know, if I hit a good shot and she hit a good shot, we complement the shot, and I think that's really important as well. Obviously, yeah, of course you want to win, but at the end of the day, there's more to winning, you know, that kind of way. And I think sportsmanship plays a lot in it, like, you know, and you know, I felt that really was important, and I think it's important. It's great to have it all the time, anyways. You know, I do personally for myself, I think it's important to have it.
On the video right now, I've fast forwarded it there, and you're actually about to take the chip to win you the National Stroke Play. So when you look back on this, and it goes into the hole. So I think we timed that extremely well there. A bit of luck. But now, another thing to mention is that that's on St. Bridget's. That is in Kildare. Not only did you go to the centre of pitch and putt from the Kildare perspective, but in addition to that, you and your Tipperary teammates returned back to Kildare to McDonagh last September, and that must have been a great achievement or a great turn up for you as well.
Oh yeah, 100%. Look, it really was the icing on the cake, being honest about it. Like, we knew going up that we'd a good team, and in fairness, it was such a good. I love the Intercounty. I love playing a team event. I just think it's a great format, and I find the format, even with the ladies, is a great format on both the Saturday and the Sunday. Yes. And in fairness, it was a real ding-dong battle between ourselves, Kildare and Dublin. You're told there was only 2 and 3 shots in the difference, and going into that singles on the Sunday, and that was great, really. For being honest, it was great for ladies pitch and putt in general, because. Yes. some years I've played it, and you'd have some teams that might be 30, 40 shots ahead going into the singles.
Yeah.
So it really was great. And in fairness, like, all of my teammates played brilliantly, like, and like, even just like, for example, you'd Brien Lonergan there leading she went out first, and she she led us really, like, she came in with 5 under, and that was a great score in McDonagh that day, because it was tricky. And that was great, but that brought great momentum to us. It brought great momentum for every one of us as it went down along, then you could say. And, Mary Quinn had a fantastic game as well. And, like, Mary Quinn was 4 or 5 over par after, I think it was the first 5 or 6. And she came back and finished level par, and that was a fantastic fight for her. And it was great for her as well. It was a great day. And I suppose it really was, you could say, tense right up until the last hole, really.
Of course,
because I suppose, look, I went last or whatever, but like, I didn't realise actually how close it was. And I remember Paul came over to me on the 16th, and he was like, "You need to get as many twos as you can." And so I had 3 holes left, and I said, right, okay. I said, okay. So I happened to get 2 on the 16th, and then I was told I remember going up the 18th, and it was passed me, you have to get a 3, and I thought a 3 will do you, and I was like, all right, yeah, but I still didn't really I wasn't really listening either. You're concentrating so much, you're not listening really to anybody. And I can remember Tara got a 2. I was playing with Tara and Ger, and Tara got a 2, and I was like, oh, sugar, that means Kildare won. I really didn't know the situation. And then I got my 3, and everyone was roaring. And I was like, oh, that must mean we're level with Dublin, or we're level with Kildare. I really didn't know. And then it was told, but we all played our part, and it really was. I just find, that we with that team, it really was a special win. It really was. And I suppose for us in Tipperary, when we won it in 2013, we won it, say, in Hillview, and then when it was won in 1990, it was won in Tipperary Hill. So it was the first time, I suppose, a Tipperary team that we won it outside a Tipperary course.
Yes.
And for us, that was the icing on the cake as well. And to be honest about the fact that we won it in Leinster also, because Leinster is in comparison to Munster, there's an awful lot more ladies in Leinster, and compared to Munster. And I think that was kind of really what made it special for us. Just those little things really was the icing on the cake for us. And I think the fact it was so tight made the whole tournament, the whole ladies tournament excellent.
Yes.
An excellent weekend.
It's great. And Cork were knocking on the door as well, so it was. They were. Sorry,
they were.
Yeah. We can't leave Cork out, Marta, in fairness.
No, I'm sorry. I forgot.
I want to joke. Now, we're flying through time here, and this is great stuff. But the one thing I want to talk to you about is, I know that you're involved in Lakeside's fantastic achievement in recruitment and maintaining juveniles. Do you, especially last year, and your membership numbers are a credit to yourselves and to your club, and we all take your hats off to you. How did you do that? What was your secret sauce? Where did what can we emulate in other places?
Well, I suppose what we did was, usually there's a summer camp on during the summer, and what we decided was, as a club, and I suppose I was juvenile officer last year, and I am again this year, but myself and the other juvenile officer, Martin McCormack, we kind of come up with an idea of having an Easter camp, that to have it before children would get their summer holidays, and the fact that Easter camp was a perfect opportunity because they were off for 2 weeks. And if I was going to start anywhere with any other club, I'd highly recommend an Easter camp if people are in a position to do so. We ran it over 3 days, and what we did was we charged €30 for the camp, and that includes their membership for the year. And we had 30 kids, and then from there on in, kind of from the middle of May, we had a coaching evenings, and we went every week and with a coaching evening. And like, I must say that the club were fantastic. So they all came out in force. We rotated it, and we took, there was about like 6, 7, 8 of us, and we took little groups ourselves and took them off. And then, you know, you let them off then themselves, and you let them play as well. And we did that for an hour every Friday. And that's something, again, I suppose, if people are in a position to do, I would recommend it, because the children loved coming out. And what we did was we worked around other sports, the GA and the soccer and things like that, just to make sure it wouldn't clash. And we did that then for competitions and that as well. And simple ideas that we did for competitions was, obviously, we had adult juvenile competitions for scrambles, and where they learned from the adults the basics, the rules of the game as well. But we also had competitions, say, for the juvenile members. But then some days we had competitions where the juvenile members would bring out a friend who wasn't a member, and we had little competitions for them as well. So there was a member prize and a non-member prize, and to be honest, that actually worked really well, because there was an increase. There was a major increase, you could say, in non-members that became members, because we had a special rate last year that it was only €20 for membership for the year.
Yes.
And that is actually there again this year. It really, the whole idea about it was really just to encourage juveniles to play the game, and to be honest, it really did pay off. Now, you know, obviously though, you know, a lot of work and effort they go into it, you know, but it's just, if you are in a position to do it and you do want to promote juveniles and to encourage them to play, they were just little things that we did, and to be honest, it really did pay off. It really did. And you know, we kept it going up until kind of middle of August, end of August. And I suppose personally for myself, I was in a position to do so, because being a primary school teacher, I was off the summer months. So, you know, it worked out okay. But one actually incentive that we did do, and I had got an idea. It was an idea from a parent. What we actually did, we did a couple of birthday parties as well around the pitch and puck course.
All right.
So so what they did was, you know, the juveniles would come out and pay their fee or whatever. But if it was a child's birthday, they go out and they play the game, and they come back in, and the parents would organise the likes if they wanted to bring food or anything like that. We just more or less occupied it as if it was bring fees, really. Yeah. Because I suppose we're only kind of getting started and we weren't really sure. And that worked really well. You know, and like I was out in the course, and it was just to have an extra pair of hands and just to kind of help them supervise where it needs to be. But it worked really well, and I found that was another idea that was good.
And it's all it's all just about ideas and making things work.
Yeah, exactly.
At that kind of a level. Marta, time flies. We're almost at the end. I've started the tradition really at the end of these shows in asking you 2 final questions. Your first question, I think we know the answer to, but we're going to ask you anyway, is what's your proudest moment or your highlight of your pitch book career? And then the hard one for you, I think, is to name the greatest player that you've encountered in the game. And I think they're your final 2 questions now, so no easy ones for you in this exam.
No, they're really not. No, not at all. But look, I suppose the proudest moment, of course, it's obviously really hard to pick one, but I suppose, it really was, I suppose, maybe last year in St. Bridget's.
The one that we're showing,
You know, yeah, it wouldn't be shown. But look, to be honest, if I had to pick a second one, it definitely would have been actually winning the Intercounty in 2013 with Tipperary, because that was my first time when everyone in Intercounty, you know, and it really was great, and it was great to win it in Tipperary also as well. And you know, it was brilliant. So if I had to pick a second one, that would be it. But the second question's really hard, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
My greatest player. To be honest, look, if I had to pick, from a female perspective, I actually would say Ger Ward for me. I remember on my first year out, I was 16 and I was in Castletown, and I was drawn against Ger Ward in the first round of the national match play, and I remember thinking to myself, oh my God, I'll never forget it. I was so nervous. I was just so nervous. And I was just in awe of her. Like, she could have been going for a 3, and I was going, and I was telling her to pick up the ball, and she might have been 6 foot. And then he was like, "What are you doing?" Like, it was just one of those things, and I suppose it's a complete inexperience. Like, but I lost that day 6-5, but I learned so much from her that day, and even for herself, and then I remember when I played against her in the national match play, like, she's just an absolute lady to play with and play against, and even as well again above and C points when we played the international and against Catalonia, and like she just really is for me she just really is a great player, and she's so much for just so many achievements. If I could even get one more, I'd be delighted. But she's just her caliber. She's just such a caliber of a player, and she really is fantastic.
It's spectacular. And in fairness, now last year was a bit of a turn with Mary Murray winning up in Rock Lodge and yourself winning in St. Bridget's. It's great that there's an expanse in the champions. Nothing to take away from the brilliant champions that Chrissy Byrne and your awards have been. But it's great to see people other people winning it, because it's great to have your name in the cup. Marta, I'd like to thank you so much for entertaining me. I'd like to thank you and your family. You're one of the premier families in Pitch and Putt. Your mom and your dad are permanent fixtures in any event, and I missed them this year. We look forward to seeing them this weekend. It would have been a great weekend up in Larkspur Park, but unfortunately we'll get there hopefully in a little while. It's great to see it. Of course, you've broken the duck for your family with winning a national before Paul did. Paul's a great player. He is definitely due one, and he's one of the best players to not have won a national title yet, and I'm positive it will come. He's absolutely fantastic. Don't tell him I said that, right? We can't be admitting to any of these things. But it's a great family, and it's great to have you on the show, Marta, and I will talk to you again very soon, and thanks to all the listeners, and I hope you enjoyed this.
Thanks very much, Frank. Thanks so much.
Bye,
Thank you.